Yes, beautiful snow-capped mountains in Southern California. We go from the snow to the surf. As in Pacific Surfliner, it's our game of the week on KDOC. Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Rosenblum. This is the Professor Paul Westphal back at the Classic at Damien. Semifinal action. Our first game, Etiwanda, Sierra Canyon. This one should be a beauty.
Yeah, no question about that, Randy. Etiwanda traditionally is the team nobody likes to play because of how they play. They feature a smothering defense that makes you earn every basket, and offensively they have a disciplined, unselfish offense that this year has more shot makers than maybe some of the Etiwanda teams of the past. But Sierra Canyon continues to roll on, the two-time defending state champion, still undefeated. This is a team that has 9 tremendous players, matchup nightmares for every opponent, but tonight they'll face perhaps their toughest challenge of the year in Etiwanda.
Etiwanda's got a terrific floor general. His name is Cameron Pierce.
Yeah, in a school that has produced some great point guards in the past, Cameron is the latest. He's a true leader, an outstanding point guard who also can shoot the basketball a little bit, but perhaps he's too unselfish. But he will get the team into positions to succeed because of his decision-making.
We saw Sierra Canyon last night beat Birmingham, and the guy who was making big shot after big shot was Taryn Frank.
Well, Frank is, I think, the steadying influence in a team that plays on high emotion. This is a team that really kind of likes to get up and down the floor and feature spectacular dunks. But during all of that, Taryn Frank is the steadying influence. He's a rock-solid offensive player who stays within the system, and defensively, he's a ferocious rebounder, and with his length, he can affect a lot of shots.
Will Sierra Canyon keep it going and stay undefeated? They have an ultimate challenge tonight against Etiwanda. The starting lineups and the tip-off is next, right here on KDOC.
The Shakey's PCM combo, starting at $9.99.
Get enough of you, baby.
I get so freaked out during the holidays. It's stressful being a cookie, so I wrote to Honda for help.
Hi, we got you an emotional support cookie. Today, we helped relieve some stress, and during Happy Honda Days, we can help you too, with a great deal on a reliable, award-winning Honda. Right now, you can lease a 2019 CR-V LX for just $249 a month plus tax, and Honda was named 2019 Best SUV Brand by U.S. News & World Report.
Well, hello, Cookie.
Deep breath. It's gonna be okay.
Louis, you've been craving Wingstop's flavor for way too long now.
It's so good to be back.
Back where lemon and pepper get a buttery bath and never felt zustier. Where freshly made just for you chicken learns to fly. Where 11 flavors each go to 11. It's like the first time, every time. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now get your flavor delivered to your door at wingstop.com.
You gotta be proud of what you do. You gotta be detailed, element by element.
I've been trained to notice things that most human eyes don't see.
I feel like I put my soul into the cars.
Your work ethic, the product you provide, reflects on your name.
We sign off.
We sign off.
So you can sign on.
The Sign Then Drive event is on. Lease a new 2019 Jetta. 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month, and 0 due at signing.
The Shakey's PCM combo, starting at $9.99.
Get enough of you, baby.
The Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Amtrak Pacific Surfliner. Need a getaway? Getting there's half the fun when you travel by train. Visit PacificSurfliner.com. And by Wingstop. Open late, order online at wingstop.com. Sierra Canyon, the Trailblazers 13-0. The Eagles of Etiwanda 11-1. It's time for our starting lineups presented by Wingstop. Open late, order online at wingstop.com.
For Etiwanda, they will open up with Tyree Campbell, Cameron Pierce, Daryl Jackson goes by DJ, Brantley Stevenson, and Jemai Mashak, an outstanding junior. For Sierra Canyon, B.J. Boston, Amari Bailey, Harold Yu, Shai Odom, and Taryn Frank round out the starting lineup for Andre Chevalier's Trailblazers.
Professor, I know you have the keys to victory.
In what should be a tremendous matchup tonight, two contrasting styles. So let's take a look at the keys for Etiwanda. Get back, JoJo. That is, of course, the old Beatles song, but transition defense is critical for Etiwanda tonight because Sierra Canyon is so awfully devastating in the open court. So they better get back if they're going to win tonight. And then reverse psychology in the half court. They can't take quick shots. I think in the order to attack the Sierra Canyon half-court defense, you have to reverse the ball side to side, maybe a couple of times before you can open up shooting and lanes to the basket. And for Sierra Canyon, I can't drive 55. That's the old Sammy Hagar song. And they want to play at 100 miles an hour. They don't like to play slow like Etiwanda. And then Boston Strong. Well, that, of course, is B.J. Boston. I think he is the matchup nightmare tonight for Etiwanda. How do you deal with B.J. Boston and his tremendous skill set?
This crowd is already electric. Sold out. 2,500 plus at the pit on the campus of Damien. Etiwanda controls the tap. Meshack thought about the three. Pierce had it stripped away by Boston.
It's those long arms of Boston. Gives people fits.
Pierce kicked it out of bounds, a turnover, and Sierra Canyon has it for the first time.
But not a live ball turnover. There's quite a difference between turning it over like that and then a live ball turnover that gets that devastating fast break going for Sierra Canyon.
Karen Frank is wearing number 12 tonight. Changed his jersey number. He wore 15 last night. Boston inside, an acrobatic try. It's out of bounds to the Eagles.
What you will see tonight from Etiwanda is perhaps the most famous man-to-man defense in the history of the southern section. What they do is they keep people in front of you, and then if you're lucky enough to get by your first defender, they help and recover better than anybody else year after year after year. It's tough to go unencumbered to the basket against Etiwanda.
Stevenson. 3 balls up and in for Campbell, Tyree Campbell. This team at Etiwanda shoots the ball very well from many different positions.
Yeah, they have more shot makers than in a lot of years for Dave Kleckner. And here's their first steal.
Jackson with the theft, the drive, and he's fouled. Darrell Jackson, a senior, has interest from Portland State. He's cat quick and he can score.
Yeah. They call him DJ, and he is indeed He's tough as nails. I mean, he's got a point guard kind of handle and a really good feel for the game, and he always will guard the other team's best player.
Excellent start for Etiwanda, and coming in, Professor, we knew that this would be a difficult assignment for Sierra Canyon. I think the general public thought, well, maybe it's another cakewalk. This is a very good Etiwanda Eagles team at 11-1.
Well, and because of the way they play, they will pose a different sort of problem for Sierra Canyon than anybody else they played, with the exception of maybe the defending state champion out in Texas. Duncanville gave Sierra Canyon all they wanted, but Etiwanda will make you earn every basket.
Stevenson deflected it away, taken by Odom. This is Frank. The 3 ball is in. Terran Frank always seems to hit big shots for the Blazers.
And he's so steady. He's emotionless out there. And he comes up with a lot of big plays on both ends, the TCU commit.
Darvell White, 6'5", 241 pounds, number 34 in for Etiwanda. Meshack was rejected by Frank. Bailey with a gorgeous look, and Boston slams it home.
And there's that transition game. It didn't come over after a turnover, but it came off a block shot. So it's a live ball situation, and they get out and run. That first pass gets to midcourt, and they are on top of you in numbers.
Beautiful assist from Bailey, who had 8 assists yesterday against Birmingham. Going back door is Stevenson, and Pierce found him.
Pierce, such a true point guard, but back the other way.
Boston fails from downtown, and Stevenson clears. Quicker pace. Etiwanda usually slows it up a little bit. That one by Campbell too strong, and the Blazers back the other way. The lob and the dunk. Odom with the throwdown.
That's why, even though Etiwanda created a good shot with the quick pace. I don't think you want to play like that. Sierra Canyon will trade baskets with you for a while.
Meshack short on that jump shot. Bailey running the offense, number 10. Right, off to Boston, who's so aggressive. Shy Odom knocked down, and he was fouled.
Etiwanda is not afraid of contact. They fear no one.
Foul charge number 34, Darvell Wyatt, his first.
Wyatt picks up his first foul. Got that left arm out. Committed the foul. That was obvious.
If he had to do all that all over again, he was trying to set himself up to be in position to take a charge, but he didn't. He was a step shy, and then the reach cost him.
Slapped away from Bailey, and again, this Etiwanda Eagles team, they create turnovers. Pierce has Stevenson on the wing.
Now this is the way they have to play. They had an opportunity break there, but it wasn't clear cut, so pull it out, run the offense.
Meshack, the spin move, and the dish. Wyatt put it up too strong, unfortunately, because that was a gorgeous delivery from Meshack.
Yeah, this is a really unselfish team, and they trust that everybody can make shots. That hasn't always been the case with Etiwanda, and this is a pretty 360 spin, and look at the dish, but unfortunately Wyatt, I think Yu's presence bothers everyone, whether he's right next to you or not. You know there's a 7'3" guy in there with long arms. And I think Wyatt rushed that one a little bit.
Yeah, you had 3 blocks in the win over Birmingham last night. Also 13 points and 5 rebounds. They lob down low, and an easy one from Odom.
Shy Odom for 2.
Odom's got a wide body, and if you let him get that kind of position on you, he's just going to turn and drop it in the basket.
Meshack, who's improved his outside game this year. Pierce in the lane, scores. Cameron Pierce, so under control.
Yeah, and Coach Kleckner told me there are times when he wishes Cameron would shoot more, but he would much rather create a basket than make one himself.
Yu to Boston and another dunk. That's 3 throwdowns in the first quarter already for the Blazers.
Really nice pass from Yu, and that's the part of his game that's really improved a lot. He catches the ball with much more regularity and understands that he can see over the top of everyone. Nice drop off to Boston for the flush.
Campbell. Wyatt had it deflected out of bounds. It'll be retained by the Eagles. There's a timeout on the floor. Quicker pace than we expected. Pretty good pass to Boston, and the Blazers lead by 2.
Toyotathon is on, and you know what that means. Incredible year-end savings on a huge selection of our most popular models, like the adventurous RAV4, stylish Highlander, sporty Camry, and more. Now, during Toyotathon, get a low 0.9 APR for 60 months on a new 2019 Highlander, or choose $2,500 cash back and save big. The deals end January 6th. Get yours before they're gone. Toyota, let's go places.
From the Golden Coast and rolling hills to iconic cityscapes, this is a getaway that begins the moment you step on board. Experience an unforgettable train ride. Learn more at PacificSurfliner.com.
You can't beat our prices. Just watch us. Yes, Cerritos. It's Cerritos Auto Square's pre-owned blowout sale, where all 22 dealers are duking it out to get you the best deals on the world's largest selection of pre-owned vehicles.
Yes, CerritosAutoSquare.com.
Tonight's Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Amtrak Pacific Surfliner. Travel by train to Southern California's top destinations. Book today at PacificSurfliner.com.
Well, Etiwanda is playing, I think, the way they want to play. As we take a look at the Etiwanda huddle, Dave Kleckner, of course, longtime head coach, started out at Montclair, but now in his 22nd year at the helm of Etiwanda. They've been CIF champions in 05 and 13, runners-up in 2010 and 2015. It seems like they're always in the Final Four at the very least. But I think, even though, as you mentioned, the pace might be a little quicker than we expected, it looks like Etiwanda is getting done what they want to. They've created a couple of turnovers. They've been tough on the defensive end. And offensively, they've gotten a number of players involved already.
The strong move, there was contact, no foul, and Wyatt shot careened out of bounds to Sierra Canyon.
I think Wyatt tried to avoid the contact, which is not a bad play, but he might have been better served just to take that big body right up into Odom and get himself at least a two-shot opportunity. Instead, by trying to avoid him, he created a more difficult shot. And that's a couple of misses in close for Etiwanda.
Boston had it deflected out of bounds, and there's some conversation going on. And B.J. Boston is an emotional player. Here's Coach Dave Kleckner has his team in a position tonight to really make some noise if they can pull what most people believe would be a stunning upset. They are a dangerous team, and this is going to be a basketball game that will show us a lot about this Sierra Canyon squad and how they handle this tough man-for-man pressure. Boston off balance, banked it in.
Oh my goodness gracious. You know, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and as my old coach used to tell me, he missed it so bad he made it, but it still counts for 3.
Boston is lucky and he is good. He's both. 14-9. Blazers lead by 5. A foul on Bronny James, who's entered.
I kind of had a feeling the refs might call something a little bit lesser contact than they've allowed so far, because you get into a situation when you allow that much contact early, it can get a little ragged. Michael Moreno, Jeff Logan, and I'm sorry, I missed the third referee. That's Bernard Robinson. Thank you, Randy.
Here's Pierce. Tough fall-away shot. Meshack got it back in the lane. He can't score, and a strong rebound for Odom. Blazers push the pace. Frank from downtown, and Stevenson clears. And Etiwanda's running.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure that's the best play, nor is that.
The long 3, rimmed out for DJ Jackson.
And they can make them. This year's team, we talked about it earlier, more shot makers, better perimeter shooters than many a season for Etiwanda. But that doesn't mean we're going to get an illegal screen against Odom. But it doesn't mean you have to play the way Sierra Canyon plays. I mean, I don't think Etiwanda should ever attack the basket without a couple of passes.
By the way, Shai Odom, who committed the foul, wanted us to alert everyone to tell him that he's not Lamar Odom's son. Apparently the rumor was going over the air with someone, and he came over to me earlier and said, please let everyone know I am not Lamar Odom's child.
Anybody who believes that doesn't have much faith in us, because if you don't think if that was the case we would have told you, I feel bad for you.
That's a strong drive and a goal, beautifully done by Tyree Campbell, the 6'5 senior, so long and athletic.
Oh, very much so, and Coach Kleckner said the most consistent player that he has.
Boston, another deep 3, and that one was nothing but nylon, and he is a sensational 5-star player headed to Kentucky.
You cannot, you've got to fight through that pick, that high screen, and we're going to get a carry, a discontinued dribble. But Boston is so good with that quick release, one step past the high screen, that you've got to be there. If you go under that, you're going to be too late.
More scoring punch on the floor for Etiwanda as Marcus Green, number 23, has entered.
Very bouncy player who is a real good shooter.
Intended for you, and it was intercepted. Again, the help defense, that's what Etiwanda does. Intended for Green, but Jackson's pass too hot to handle.
And I just think Etiwanda's playing too fast. I mean, I'm sorry, they're hanging around, but this pace is not their pace. And you can get sucked into that because you can have some early success by running. But trust me, Sierra Canyon will trade baskets for a while, and then you look up and you're down 8.
Zaire Wade has also entered, number 2 for Sierra Canyon. You battling, does a nice job, but it's taken away by Green. Pierce, the blow by, and he kicks it to Stevenson in the corner. He hits.
Winner, Bradley Stevenson.
Final 35 seconds of the quarter, and a steal by Pierce. A solo, missed it. Rebound Green.
Great play by Pierce, and a really better play by Green, who didn't get caught watching. He didn't stand there expecting Pierce was going to make it. He followed it all the way to the front of the rim and was the beneficiary for the hustle.
$18 seconds left in the quarter. Daryl Jackson picks up his first personal, only the second team foul against Etiwanda.
You know, that's one of the great things that Kleckner's teams have done for a long time. is they play really good defense without fouling. Sometimes teams get so aggressive that all they do is foul and put guys on the line early. Etiwanda plays very well without doing that.
Boston, an air ball. Great defense from Jackson. Final 7 seconds, a chance for Etiwanda to get the lead. Campbell for three. Mashak got it. Terrific putback by Jemai Mashak. And after one, it's the Eagles 18, the Trailblazers 17. Fun stuff at the Damien Classic, and the throwdown by Boston. A good one on KDOC.
The holiday gift-giving season has come and gone. And if that gift was a brand new Hyundai, it probably went something like this. If it wasn't, that's okay. Because you can still get a great deal on your new Hyundai during the final days of Hyundai holidays.
Lease a 2020 Santa Fe for $189 a month or get 0% APR for 72 months plus $500 event cash. Only at your SoCal Hyundai dealer.
When it comes to health coverage, it helps to have someone in your corner. That's why there's Covered California. We're the only place where you can get financial help to pay for your health insurance. New this year, almost 1 million people could receive additional financial help from the state to help lower the cost of health insurance. More for those already getting it, and new help for many who haven't gotten help before. So check to see how much you can save. It only takes 5 minutes. The last day to enroll is January 31st, so get covered today.
Saturday, on the Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week, Heritage Christian Warriors battles against the Bishop Montgomery Knights. Action starts at 7:30 on KDOC TV, Los Angeles.
The Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Amtrak Pacific Surfliner. Need a getaway? Getting there is half the fun when you travel by train. Visit PacificSurfliner.com. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Toyotathon is on. Get incredible year-end savings on a reliable new Toyota. Outstanding first quarter. Terrific action. Sierra Canyon got off to a slow start, then went on a run, and then Etiwanda responded. We got really an even game through the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, Etiwanda got the last 7 after falling behind 17-11. Sierra Canyon played their game for a while, but then Etiwanda didn't turn it over, so there wasn't a chance for a 3-on-1, 3-on-2 kind of with the high-flying finish. I would expect that Sierra Canyon Coach Chevalier will tell them, look, we've got to ratchet up the defense a little bit. We've got to see if we can force these guys into a few more errors, but a really good quarter for both sides.
And that's the thing about Sierra Canyon. They too play outstanding defense. They're not just offensive fireworks. Hughes shot too strong. Rebound pulled down by Campbell. Getting down ahead of everyone is Stevenson. Running the floor beautifully, Brantley Stevenson.
Oh, what a pretty pass. I think that was Jackson with the pretty diagonal on-time pass for the easy one.
Eagles by 3. First 30 seconds of the second quarter. Amari Bailey will back it up. Plays so under control for a sophomore. Gifted talent.
Yeah, has the complete game.
The James jumper, a little bit short. Rebound Stevenson. Bonnie did have a good look. Stevenson, the high basketball IQ, pulls it out and goes to Mashak. Corner 3. No good for Green, and he can hit that shot. Bailey all the way, looking for a foul. There's no call, and Mashak has it for Etiwanda. It'll stay with the Eagles.
Substitutions for Etiwanda. Pierce back in along with Wyatt. But what I've been impressed with most with Etiwanda so far, that transition defense. They have allowed very few runouts. They get back in mass, and Coach Fletcher said they're not sending anywhere near 5 to the glass because they know they better get at least 2 back because Sierra Canyon's transition game will absolutely kill you.
DJ Boston back in for James. Pierce in the lane, offline, yanked down by Odom. Boston into the corner, the Bailey 3. We're even at 20. Oh, that's Bailey, who's expanded his game. He can hit that deep shot. Also explosive around the rim.
Etiwanda ran a second defender at Boston as soon as he put it on the floor, but Boston, with his good instincts, picked it up and found the open Bailey.
Campbell's shot dips in and out. Boston has it, and here come the Blazers. Great feed inside, and the dunk by Odom. What a look from Boston to Odom.
Boston showing the complete skill set. He's had a couple of deflections with those long arms, and he's made some shots, which we all know he can do. But his ability to pass through just tiny windows, very evident there.
Blazers rip off a quick 5 in a row. Pierce exploring with a pass to Campbell. Came up empty, and there's Yu coming down with the rebound. They swarm him and foul him. And it was Marcus Green that got him on the arm.
But Odom challenged the shot in the middle of the lane, and that's what made it very difficult. There you see 13 coming over and challenging Campbell, forcing him to really make a tough shot, and Yu is there to clean up the miss.
Professor, I look at these two teams. I think this is great for both of these squads to play one another. It's early in the year. It's a tournament game. This is just a tough assignment. It's like playing a Southern Section playoff game or a state tournament game. The Bailey jumper is offline. Here come the Eagles. 22-20. Trailblazers by a bucket. They've scored the last 5 points.
Reverse the ball. There you go. Back the other way.
Meshack hits. That's a 2 ball. And again, that's the area where he's improved greatly. He said he worked on it a lot in the offseason.
Yeah, he's become so much more of a complete player. He was always a high flyer, a guy who could finish around the rim.
Frank may have gotten away with an arm bar there as he tried to move inside. Boston can get to the rim. He's so strong, and he finishes it. Oh, B.J. Boston showing why he's a 5-star recruit on his way to Kentucky.
Through contact, at first it was tough just to get there with the bounce, and then they ran the second defender at him. No matter, Boston absorbs the contact, still able to finish.
Wyatt for 3. Here come the Blazers.
Better stop the ball.
Collision. And the foul going against Omari Bailey.
Pierce, with great anticipation, knew that Bailey was headed straight to the rim, got there ahead of him, and drew the foul as Bailey used the off arm.
4:20 left in the half. Blazers, who were down by 1 after the first quarter, up by 2. Etiwanda possession.
And Coach Kleckner said what I've been talking about all game long: move the ball side to side. At least 3 or 4 passes. Make that Sierra Canyon defense play at least 15 seconds worth of defense.
Spectacular drive from Darvell Wyatt. He put it on the ground, and at 2:41, he can move pretty well.
Really good body control. Uses his size and skill set to its maximum.
Bailey from outside. That won't get there. It's out of bounds. It belongs to Etiwanda. When we come back, we're deadlocked at 24. 2 Titans of Southern California basketball duking it out on the Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week.
Time for Kia's Holiday Sticker Sales Event. Get great deals on vehicles loaded with advanced technology features, like the 2020 Soul or Sportage with available forward collision avoidance, or the 2019 Optima, Sorrento, or Forte with available blind spot collision warning. All with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Get 0% APR plus up to $2,000 bonus cash on specially tagged 2019 vehicles, or lease a specially tagged 2020 Sportage LX for $169 a month at Kia's Holiday Sticker Sales Event.
You only get so many firsts in life, Lisa, and this bite of Wingstop is one of them. This is where lemon and pepper get a buttery bath and never felt zestier. Where freshly made just for you chicken learns to fly. Where 11 flavors each go to 11. Should we give you a moment? Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now get your flavor delivered to your door at wingstop.com.
Tonight's Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on KDOC TV is presented by Wingstop. Open late, order online at wingstop.com. Well, we knew coming in with teams with records of 13-0 and 11-1, it would be hotly contested, but this has really been a battle in the first half with Sierra Canyon and Etiwanda.
Well, we knew we had 2 highly caliber open division contenders, and it's just they play a different style of play. So far, the first quarter I thought was played more at Sierra Canyon's pace, second quarter more at Etiwanda's pace, but because the talent is so obvious, the score there hasn't been much disparity in the score the entire game. I think the biggest lead of the night has been 6 by Sierra Canyon. I've been impressed the way Etiwanda has challenged Sierra Canyon on the glass. There have been very few second chance opportunities for a team that's very long in Sierra Canyon and does a pretty good job of crashing the offensive glass.
There's no question that Sierra Canyon, the murderer's row of basketball talent, is loaded, and they can perform. And they put pressure on Etiwanda, and Pierce can't save it, and it's out of bounds to the Blazers.
Well, unfortunate, but once again, not a live ball turnover. While you would have liked to start after the timeout with a basket, that's not the worst possible way for Sierra Canyon to get the ball when they have to inbound it.
Boston splitting the defenders and drawing the foul. He is just electric around the goal.
And deceptively wiry, kind of strong. I mean, he looks like he's, kind of thin, a little bit on the lean side. But inside, playing through contact once again, takes one on the top of the head, still able to get the ball up toward the rim well enough to get a 2-shot opportunity.
Already in this tournament, he has 2 double-doubles, 19 and 10, 18 and 10. He's a model of consistency and really a scoring machine for Andre Chevalier.
But I like, and yes, it's obvious he can get you 25 anytime he likes to, but I like the way he has a really good feel for the game, and that we're talking about DJ Boston. He understands the entire concept of the spreading out of the court. And we've seen that on display a number of times tonight.
Meshack shooting over you. The 3 ball.
That helps, because he had it struggled a little bit from the outside. Once he sees one goes in, he's a very confident player. Wouldn't be surprised to see him make a couple in a row.
Etiwanda up by 2. You can see that all out man for man. They contest everything. That's a gorgeous drive, though, and finish by Taryn Frank.
That's major college kind of strength there. He powered his way past a defender who was on him from about 18 feet away.
Pierce too strong. And the Blazers are running. Wyatt so strong, just yanked the ball away from Taryn Frank.
and Frank's not a small guy himself.
Meshack, you confronted him. Corner 3, that's short. Jackson had a clean look. Here come the Blazers. When they run out like this, they'll get good looks. Offensive foul goes against Sierra Canyon and Amari Bailey.
Pierce with a big grin again as he anticipated that Bailey wasn't going to just pull up and shoot. He wanted to go baseline. You'll see it here. Pierce beats him to the spot and then takes the off arm right in the chest. Offensive foul.
I feel like, Professor, we're in the first round of the CIF Southern Section Open Division Tournament.
If this was an Open Division final, no one would feel badly. Oh gosh, Frank fell with that tussle with Wyatt and hit his head. Hopefully, nothing too serious, but anytime your head clunks against that hard floor with that kind of ferocity, you're a little concerned, but Frank's not coming out of the game, although it looks like maybe Coach Chevalier is going to substitute. No, he's going to go smaller. He's going to substitute Wigington for Bailey.
Etiwanda with tournament wins over Dillard High School from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and over Salesian from up north, 70-58. Sierra Canyon, of course, in Chatsworth had a couple victories. They beat Rebay Academy, blew them out 91-58 and 80-61 on our air last night over Birmingham. Game a little bit closer than that score would indicate. The Patriots from the LA City section played very well, especially in the second quarter, and David Elliott, their guard, was sensational. Stevenson to the goal. The left-hand finish is gorgeous.
Oh, weaved his way through the defense and then challenged you. Went up with the offhand and finished.
Boston. It's out of bounds. Etiwanda basketball.
Darvell Wyatt is giving Coach Kleckner just valiant effort under there. He's undersized, height-wise, not weight-wise.
I'm glad you clarified that.
But he has been in there battling the Trailblazers, who have much longer arms, longer frames. He's been tough on the glass.
It's funny about Darvell Wyatt. He said, I'm a little bit clumsy. I fell in the shower last year and hurt my eye. I was in the shower by myself and fell down. Fortunately, he didn't miss any action, but he goes, I'm a little bit clumsy. He doesn't appear to be clumsy on the floor, does he? There's a jump shot, and it's up and in for Tyree Campbell. It's 31-27 Etiwanda.
Campbell just doesn't force things, lets the game come to him that time. Little pull-up jumper.
The floater in and out. Out of bounds, and again it'll be owned. Ball possession to the Etiwanda Eagles.
Great
Their
hustle.
defense again is they just get bodies in front of everyone.
Yeah, that's always been the key, is keep your man, stay in front of your man. However, if you're unfortunate enough for the guy to be able to get by you, their ability to help, and then you've got to recover. You can't just help because somebody's going to be open. They do that better than anybody. Good effort that time by Frank to try to keep the offensive possession alive, but he just landed on the baseline. But it's good to see that he's playing with, enthusiasm, and it doesn't seem to be bothered by the clunk in his head a few minutes ago.
You mentioned it, Tukey Wigington, number 22, sophomore guard who played on the state championship team last year, on for Chevalier's Trailblazers. Eagle basketball, trying to widen the gap in the final minute of the opening half. Wyatt all the way, the reverse layup. Wigington got a piece of it, but Meshack comes up with it.
Take your time, Etiwanda.
Wigington with the reach and the foul.
Trailblazer foul called on number 22, Tukey Wigington, his first.
Cameron Pierce back in, and Stevenson will get a breather.
Wigington's a very good energy player, really good on-ball defender. Just kind of got his hand caught on Stevenson there, but nobody near the bonus yet.
Shot clock 8 seconds ahead of the game clock. Pierce. Ooh, reverse try. Tried to split the defenders and make a miraculous shot. Jackson had it picked by Wigington. Odom nearly had a three-point play. He's going to the line. Final 15 seconds of the half. We just had an exchange of possessions, and both teams exhibiting great defense.
Yes, what a wonderful basketball play that was on so many different levels. First, Etiwanda battling, just being tougher to get the steal, but Wigington didn't hang his head. Instead, he stuck his nose right back in there, got the ball back, the hit ahead to Odom, who goes up strong with contact, able to hang there an extra second, get the ball up off the glass as we look at the Sierra Canyon Brain Trust. But Odom, this guy'd be a 20-point per game scorer most everywhere else.
A takeaway, Boston for the tie. Long bounce, Boston inside. Odom has two.
Can't be lazy like that.
Final 6 seconds, now 5, as Pierce comes into the front court. We have an offensive foul. Wyatt knocked down Boston.
Oh, I think BJ sold that one. He's getting up with a little bit of a grin. I think the referee saw the outcome of the impact and saw Boston fly like, almost, watch this here. Wyatt, he gave him a little bit of a shoulder, but it certainly isn't going to knock a guy like Boston down to that degree. But he sold it well and got the call. And a little bit of discombobulation from Etiwanda in the last 15 seconds might cost them the lead.
Sierra Canyon's going to have to take a quick shot just above 1 second left.
I'd find Boston if I could.
Boston they found, but there's the block beautifully by Campbell, and that's the end of the half. The Eagles by 1 over top-ranked Sierra Canyon. Some spectacular plays, none better than this one from Stevenson on KDOC.
I'm standing on the mountain, about to fall. I'm running on the rooftops, 50 foot tall. I'm breaking through the sea.
Celebrate Infinity's 30th year with 2020 Edition 30 SUVs. Lease the 2019 QX50 for $379 a month, plus get a $1,500 winter bonus at your Southern California Infinity retailer.
That recreation is amazing.
Thanks. Exhibits like that really help the jury understand what happened. We use technology, experts, investigators, whatever it takes to tell your client's story.
All the jurors are nodding.
That's what we want. We've got a great backup staff, great resources.
Call 1-800-333-0000 when the stakes are the quality of your life.
For life.
Nobody will fight harder for you. Nobody.
Hablamos español.
Cruise along tracks that connect you to Southern California's top destinations and experience an unforgettable ride. When was the last time you were moved by a train? Plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com.
Louis, you've been craving Wingstop's flavor for way too long now.
It's so good to be back.
Back where lemon and pepper get a buttery bath and never felt zustier. Where freshly made just for you chicken learns to fly. Where 11 flavors each go to 11. It's like the first time, every time. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now get your flavor delivered to your door at wingstop.com.
Behind the clouds, beneath the flood, through the fire. With SkyMap 7, you'll witness breaking news like never before. Real-time street mapping, only from ABC 7 Eyewitness News on KDOC TV.
Welcome back to the Classic at Damien. We're at Damien High School here in Laverne, California for a beauty where Etiwanda leads Sierra Canyon 31-30 at the half. And our own Randy Rosenblum had an opportunity to talk to the head coach of Sierra Canyon, Andre Chevalier.
The man we're with is the man who's won 2 state championships as the head coach of Sierra Canyon, Andre Chevalier. I was just chatting with you, and you were yawning. Your team's traveling. You seem exhausted to me.
I'm a little tired, not just from the travel, but I'm in the middle of a move right now. So I'm coaching games and then running home and packing up. So that's a little bit of it.
The travel, you've been all over the place. Is it too much? I know Sierra Canyon is an attraction, but is the travel too much?
Well, we always try to prepare our kids for the next level, and so we think that the travel allows them to get ready for the high-level universities that they're going to. But yes, I think it's a bit much this year, and next year I don't think we'll travel as much.
You have so many great players. How do you juggle the minutes?
Well, they love each other. They respect each other. You know, if we go out and play hard, you know, our guys are going to get a little bit tired. So they call themselves out and get their teammates in for a little bit of time. And I think that is what allows us to balance the minutes and, you know, keep everybody happy.
I want to talk about China. You took a trip to China. Had to be great for Harold Yu, your big center who hails from there. Tell us about that travel and how that was a bonding experience for Sierra Canyon.
Well, the reason we went to China was for Harold, so that our boys could see what his culture was and how he lived, and also the things that he experiences when he comes to the U.S. And the food is different, and the culture is different, and the people's different. So for that, it was a wonderful trip, and to give the guys an opportunity to bond and build camaraderie was amazing, and that definitely was accomplished.
I want a progress report. You're undefeated. You can't complain about that. Are you pleased with where your basketball team is right now?
We still have a long way to go. Defensively, we have to work on some things, execution-wise, you know, just understanding the system that we play in. And then on Monday when Zaire Williams comes back, it'll be the first time that, you know, we've been together as a full group. And I think from that point forward, we can, you know, start to build and see where we can go.
Zaire Williams, great player from Notre Dame, Sherman Oaks, transfers in. How excited are you to finally have him on your roster ready to go on Monday?
So we're super excited about it. You know, he brings different dimensions to the game for us. He allows us to use different lineups. He can play point guard to center, which, you know, makes it very exciting. But we'll see how he blends with the guys and, you know, how we're able to build when he comes back.
Andre, thanks for the visit.
Thank you very much.
Get some rest.
I'm going to try.
Eagles by 1 at 31-30 at intermission. We'll come back with the stats and the highlights. That's next on our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on KDOC.
It's Happy Honda Day, spread the news.
blues. We helped Santa bottle his micro brews. Gave a friend a harmonica the last night of Hanukkah, and helped a cookie get 1 million views.
Just a dab of frosting. You don't want to look too cakey.
And during Happy Honda Days, we can help you too. Right now, you can lease a 2019 Civic LX for just $189 a month plus tax. And people buy Civics more than any other car in California.
Happy Honda Days.
From the Golden Coast and rolling hills to iconic cityscapes, this is a getaway that begins the moment you step on board. Cruise along tracks that connect you to Southern California's top destinations and experience an unforgettable ride. When was the last time you were moved by a train? Embrace the journey with us and plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com.
You only get so many firsts in life, Lisa, and this bite of Wingstop is one of them. This is where lemon and pepper get a buttery bath and never felt zestier. Where freshly made just for you chicken learns to fly. Where 11 flavors each go to 11. Should we give you a moment? Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now get your flavor delivered to your door at wingstop.com.
I've been living here in Chattanooga my whole life. I know a lot of the people, they know me. We say whatever you do in life, be the best at it. Whether you're a dishwasher or a doctor, just always strive to be the best at your job. People that drive Volkswagens may not know who I am, but I feel like my name is on that car. We sign off so you can sign on.
Visit your Volkswagen dealer during the Sign and Drive event, and you can lease a new 2019 Tiguan. 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month, and 0 due at signing.
Very entertaining first half with Etiwanda at intermission, leading 31-30 over Sierra Canyon. A lot of highlights in the first 16 minutes.
I'll say, I mean, a couple of heavyweights. This is Ali Frazier going after each other. Both teams had moments of success early on. Shai Odom was dominant inside, but Etiwanda was not intimidated by the big guy, Harold Yu. They scored inside on a number of occasions, but you've got to stay connected to BJ Boston or he'll kill you. But Etiwanda with more perimeter scoring than they've had in years past. Get one from Stevenson, and there's a beautiful pass from Pierce to Stevenson for an easy one. But Sierra Canyon beats you down the floor so often. That time Odom, the beneficiary of the good pass from Boston. And then Taryn Frank hit his head really hard there in that collision, but he seems to be all right. Stevenson with the acrobatic score inside. And off the glass is Taryn Frank. Stevenson continues. That's probably the most acrobatic shot of the game so far. Boston with the pretty look. And Bailey with the three-point bomb from the corner. Etiwanda not intimidated inside. They've held their own on the glass. The stats will show us the game is as even as the score. The statistics show that these two teams are really evenly matched. You can see it there where Etiwanda, the shooting percentage is not particularly different. Rebounds 18-16. Etiwanda's got to be happy about that to stay even on the glass, and they haven't turned it over very often. Boston leading scorer with 11 for Sierra Canyon, and for Etiwanda, it's a trio as you'd expect. It's Jackson, Stevenson, and Meshack with 7 apiece, and that's got to please Coach Dave Kleckner. That's the way he wants them to play, balanced scoring.
Sierra Canyon is undefeated. They're 13-0, but they're up against a tough foe in Etiwanda, who's 11-1. Should be a highly entertaining second half for the Trailblazers and the Eagles. That's next on KDOC.
The Shakey's PCM combo, starting at $9.99.
Get enough of you, baby.
You ready? Yes, Cerritos.
Every morning, the 22 dealers at Cerritos Auto Square prepare to do battle to get you the best deal.
Keep going, faster, faster, keep it going.
You can't beat our prices. Just watch us.
Yes, Cerritos.
It's Cerritos Auto Square's pre-owned blowout sale, where all 22 dealers will be duking it out to win your business. Shop the world's largest selection of pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. Don't miss our pre-owned blowout sale.
Yes, CerritosAutoSquare.com.
You shouldn't have to live with pain.
You shouldn't have to pretend you're fine. You shouldn't have to be the ambulance. You shouldn't have to be thinking about the cost. You should just be focused on her. Covered California can help you find a health plan that fits your needs and budget. Because we believe you shouldn't have to choose between the life you've built and the care you need.
Can my side be firm?
Mine's super soft? Yes, with the Sleep Number 360 smart bed. On sale now. You can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
So can it help us fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
But can it help keep me asleep?
Absolutely. It intelligently senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable.
So you can really promise better sleep.
Not promise, prove. And now, during our New Year's special, the Queen Sleep Number 360 C4 smart bed is only $12.99. Save $400, plus 0% interest for 24 months on all beds. Ends New Year's Day.
The Shakey's PCM Combo, starting at $9.99.
Enough of you, baby.
The Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Amtrak Pacific Surfliner. Need a getaway? Getting there is half the fun when you travel by train. Visit PacificSurfliner.com. And by Wingstop. Open late, order online at Wingstop.com. Getting ready for the third quarter. This is our first semifinal. The classic at Damien, and we're going to give you a little bracketology here. And here's how it's broken down. You can see our next game a little later tonight on KDOC, St. John Bosco and Rancho Christian.
So many good games in this Platinum division throughout the field of 16 all the way now here. We're in the semifinals. Birmingham gave Sierra Canyon all they wanted in our broadcast last night before finally succumbing to the relentless Sierra Canyon pressure. Etiwanda over a very well-coached Salesian team. Windward and Bosco, I mean, that went right down to the final possession. Bosco prevailing, and Rancho Christian, after Damien hung around for a while, eventually just too big, too strong. And the Bosco Christian game, that should be the biggest test that Rancho Christian has faced this year as far as somebody who can match them size for size.
Yeah, stay with us for that one. That is going to be a true battle. Some great big men in that game. Everyone knows about Evan Mobley of Rancho Christian. He tweaked his ankle a little bit last night. They held him out in the fourth quarter when they were cruising to victory. St. John Bosco has Isaiah Holm, terrific center, and that'll be a wonderful matchup. We're ready for the third quarter here. Etiwanda has possession, and they're up one as we begin. Of course, Etiwanda's got a sparkling 11-1 record, so they're not shabby either. These are two outstanding clubs.
No, Etiwanda's just one missed shot at the buzzer away from being undefeated. They lost to Heritage Christian 48-47, but they had a makeable shot at the buzzer to win that one as well.
Campbell all the way, and you got a piece of that one. He deflected it at 7-3. Great play by Harold Yu. In the paint, Frank missed an easy one. Tipped out, and Boston will run it down.
Yeah, Taryn, I think, was the most surprised guy in the world when that didn't go in. It kind of took him a while for the second jump.
Dave Cluckner yelling at his guys, get a rebound. Don't let him get that second shot.
Easier said than done. Sierra Canyon is really good on the offensive glass.
Knocked away beautifully by Meshack. Jumper by Meshack, rims in and out. And Frank rebounds for the Blazers.
That's all right. Opportunity break that time, and Meshack got a really makeable mid-range shot. Just didn't go in, but you have to convert those opportunities against Sierra Canyon. Neither one of these teams turns the ball over a whole lot.
Playing through Boston, their gifted offensive weapon off balance. And he was fouled. Jackson can't believe he got him on the arm.
Oh, I think that's one of those, if a ball goes in, they don't blow the whistle. And when it didn't go in, they thought, well, he must have got fouled. Boston is really good at selling stuff. I mean, he looks like he practically, was on his way to the floor. I don't think the contact was nearly that severe. But we've seen BJ, very good actor.
There's Andre Chevalier. Played at Reseda High School in the LA City section.
Very good player.
Yeah, then went on to Cal State Northridge, where he's a Hall of Famer after being a great point guard there for the Matadors.
I think when he left school, he was the career leader in just about every offensive category.
You heard our interview at halftime, and I'm sure you did. They've traveled a lot. He's a little bit sleepy. He was resting before the game. The team came in. They were here early because the tournament setting. And Andre was in the car resting and getting some shut-eye.
You got to get those power naps when you can.
Pass inside for Meshack. In traffic, taken away by Odom. Bailey has Boston. Boston is fouled. Oh, they run out so beautifully.
If you turn it over, and in talking to Coach Kleckner this morning, he said we can't turn it over, Paul, because they're so good in this type of open court situation. I mean, that first pass gets to midcourt, and it's 2-on-1 almost every time.
You know, they play downhill, but they play downhill with great speed.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, the transition from defense to offense is as good as any I've seen maybe since the Ball brothers at Chino Hills.
Good look at Dave Kleckner, over 600 wins in his career. Been a wonderful coach. A great coaching matchup here in Kleckner and Chevalier. And suddenly, it's the Blazers who are up by 4. And they can spurt and score a lot of points. Stevenson for 3. It's his spot. He likes that corner underneath a pushing foul on Meshack.
Once again, I think B.J. Boston, sold that contact a little bit. There's been a lot more contact than that, but he falls and flails and embellishes really well. And if he can get a call by doing that, I'm not saying that is a bad thing. But he really he's mastered the art of making it look a lot more contact than it is.
I love Boston's enthusiasm. He plays hard. Ball always finds him, but he's so enthusiastic on the floor. Inside of 6 minutes to play in the third. Sierra Canyon down a point at halftime. Out in front and looking for more.
What I particularly like about Boston is he's highly skilled. That's obvious, but he plays hard all the time on both ends. He doesn't take any possessions off. Wyatt back in for Meshack.
Bailey in low to Boston. Before he went up, he was held. Daryl Jackson has 3 fouls.
That's a tough matchup for DJ. Boston obviously about 4 inches taller and knows how to spread himself out when he posts up so that you pretty much got to come over the back or at least over the shoulder. DJ got caught that time.
Inbounds pass. Odom got it back. Tipped out of bounds. Officials look at one another and say, hey, let's give it back to Sierra Canyon.
And that is the correct call as Wyatt got his hand on it last. Etiwanda been stuck on 31 now for this entire quarter.
Yeah, they're yet to score. They were up 31-30 at the break, so it's 5-0 in the stanza for Sierra Canyon. And Boston will jack up a long 3. Etiwanda looking for their offense. Pierce penetrates. Oh, that's Boston with terrific defense.
Those long arms again.
Stevenson took it away from you. And will shoot a 3. And got it to go in and out. Pierce underneath, feeding Jackson, and Bailey comes out of there with it. Oh, the length and the athleticism of the Blazers. And there's a dunk at the other end for B.J. Boston.
Pretty pass, though, made the play. Beautiful underhand scoop. Kleckner wants a timeout. Rough start for Etiwanda.
37-31, Omari Bailey, who's so good assisting his teammates. Able to give Boston the easy deuce. This was pretty. Bailey to Boston on KDOC.
Toyotathon is on, and you know what that means. Incredible year-end savings on a huge selection of our most popular models, like the adventurous RAV4, stylish Highlander, sporty Camry, and more. Now, during Toyotathon, get a low $269 a month lease on a sporty new 2020 Camry LE, or choose 1.9 APR for 60 months and save big. The deals end January 6th. Get yours before they're gone. Toyota, let's go places.
Louis, you've been craving Wingstop's flavor for way too long now.
It's so good to be back.
Back where lemon and pepper get a buttery bath and never felt zustier. Where freshly made just for you chicken learns to fly. Where 11 flavors each go to 11. It's like the first time, every time. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now get your flavor delivered to your door at wingstop.com.
Tonight's Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on KDOC TV is driven by your helpful SoCal Honda dealers.
Take a look at the Sierra Canyon huddle. Coach Chevalier's got to be happy with the energy and efficiency that they've come out of the locker room with. They're on a 7-0 run. Etiwanda's had a tough time getting any kind of good looks, and Sierra Canyon, obviously, in transition, they're deadly, and they've got a couple of runouts. The last one punctuated by a beautiful left-hand scoop pass by Bailey to that man, Boston, and anywhere around the rim, he's going to reach it with those long arms and flush it.
Defensively, their athleticism, they're touching a lot of shots, altering shots of Etiwanda. That's a credit to the Blazers and how hard they work at both ends of the building. And they take it away from Stevenson, and here's Bailey's turn. He's a high riser. He defies gravity.
I think they surprised him with the trap in the corner out of the timeout. Etiwanda didn't look prepared for it. And once they get it in the open court, forget about it. First time Etiwanda's really been victimized by that sort of turnover.
Wyatt. Oh, they needed that. The first basket of the quarter. It's Darvell Wyatt with a pretty mid-range jumper.
Big-time skills there. His best attribute is the pick and pop. At that time, he created for himself a much-needed jump shot. Etiwanda needed to see the ball go in the basket.
Frank will direct traffic with 10 on the shot clock. Working against Stevenson, and Stevenson picked his pocket.
Outstanding on-ball defense by Stevenson.
That's a nice drive on the baseline from Campbell, who was stumbling, but he still got there.
Athletic play by Campbell, because you're right. He sort of lost his footing about 2/3 of the way to the basket, but recovered nicely and finished. And just like that, it's a 4-0 run for Etiwanda.
Boston nearly banked that one and hit the back of the iron. It was from way downtown again. Stevenson, who is energized, and he draws the foul going up against you. One thing about Stevenson, he's 6'4", but he'll take it right at anyone. He saw the 7'3" you, and he went right at him, and you got him on the arm, and Stevenson's going to the charity stripe.
Very good pump fake to get Boston to fly by, and then down the baseline. Once Stevenson knew he had you kind of having to move his feet laterally, that sort of neutralizes Yu's size. And then Stevenson tried to go up and under, knew at the very worst he was going to get a 2-shot opportunity, which he does.
Stevenson at the free throw line. There's a few schools looking at him, Fullerton, Idaho State, and Davis, but he is considering Cal Poly because that's where Cameron Pierce is going, and he just may join his teammate. He has not decided yet. He's leaving his options open.
That'd be a really good get for Cal Poly to get that kind of a backcourt to come in as freshmen.
James' pass is stolen away beautifully again by Darvell Wyatt.
Gosh, he's been solid tonight on both ends.
Stevenson, yes. And just like that, we're even at 39, and Etiwanda with an 8-point run.
Couple of heavyweights just exchanging knockout kind of punches.
Bailey against Pierce, knocked Pierce down and scored, and Amari Bailey doing his thing.
Pierce drew a couple of those off-arm fouls in the first half. Referees weren't buying it there on that particular move by Bailey.
Game is getting very physical, though.
Yeah.
Pierce from 28. Stevenson hustles to get the rebound.
Oh, that's just effort. He had to go about 8 feet to go get that miss.
Campbell off the iron. This one's going against Cameron Pierce. Cameron not happy about the call.
Coach Kleckner would like to know why that's not a foul on the opposite end when Sierra Canyon swats at the rebounder. That time Boston got the rebound, but Pierce was there to try to pilfer it and got caught.
Wyatt goes out. He has 3 fouls. And Sierra Canyon, like on most nights, they have more depth than their opponent. They're a deeper squad. Although tonight, neither coach going deep on that bench. Another one that's deflected away, but it gets to Boston, who throws it down.
DJ Boston with the slam.
A little bit of an altercation between DJ Jackson and Boston. Let's see how they call that. They're going to get Boston for a shove after the ball went through the hoop, so the basket will count. But watch the action afterwards as Jackson goes to get the ball. Boston with a little bit of an elbow, but fair is fair. Boston likes to embellish. DJ did that time, drew the foul.
Minute 54 to play in the third quarter. The fans are into it. You can see it's standing room only at the pit on the campus of Damien. This is the classic at Damien, and 80 teams, many different divisions. This is the platinum level, and all the big teams are here, and this is just a wonderful tournament that Damien has put together.
Marvelous organization by Mike LeDuc, Frank Burleson, Bob Becker, and all of the staff at the Classic at Damien putting together this tournament. But Amari Bailey beginning to assert himself on both ends of the court. And if you give him a chance for the highlight dunk, he's going to take it. A marvelous athlete.
Yeah, he has a wonderful vertical jump. Mentioned it before, he really does defy gravity, doesn't he?
Played on that USA national under-16 team that went to Brazil and won the gold medal. Bailey and Boston, the Killer Bees for Sierra Canyon.
And they work well together. They
yeah.
have a beautiful connection between Bailey and Boston.
Yeah, they trust each other. Sometimes elite players feel like they are the best option every time, but those two totally believe that the other one is capable of greatness. They share the ball really well.
Final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Blazers by 4. Nobody going home early on this one. Green from downtown. Long shots take long bounces. Stevenson got it back.
He just has a knack for being in the right place, does Brantley Stevenson.
Free throw line jumper for Pierce.
Pierce for 2.
Lead shaved to 2. Bailey surprised Frank, who was not looking for the pass. And a turnover, and it was unforced.
Yeah, a rare mistake like that for Sierra Canyon, who very seldom hurts themselves. Bailey turns to Frank and goes, "That's my bad." He just threw it at the exact wrong time. Frank was looking at him, and then when he turned his head to size up the defense, it was right when the ball was in the air. So that's just an unfortunate mistake. Let's see if Etiwanda can capitalize.
Stevenson for the lead. The 3-ball has given Etiwanda a 1-point advantage with a minute to play in the third.
Coach Kleckner has to like that. He told me that Stevenson can be a very good shooter. He just hasn't been lately. Well, he's been tonight.
Pierce with a near steal. It gets to Boston, and one for Brandon Boston. And the lead back to Sierra Canyon.
He's almost unguardable. I mean, we've seen the skill set from outside where he's got 25-foot range, but when he posts up with those long arms, he makes himself a very inviting target. It's hard to get around that, and then he can finish with a variety of moves. That time, a little bit of a scoop.
Darvell Wyatt has picked up his 4th foul, so they'll usher in Jemai Meshack. Wyatt saddled with the 4, goes to the bench.
Well, Wyatt has been terrific, but it's not like you lose much when you put your star, Meshack, back in the game, who struggled a little bit. Maybe the time off will give him a renewed focus, a renewed energy that will only serve Etiwanda well.
B.J. Boston up to 25 points in this game for Sierra Canyon. Campbell's shot went way down in and came out. Frank's pass, that's deflected away, and here come the Eagles. Final seconds of the quarter. Stevenson.
Oh!
What a block. That was spectacular.
I think that's off of Stevenson after it was blocked by Bronny.
Bronny James with a marvelous defensive play. The officials confer, and they're going to say jump ball.
Oh, gosh, I think if we have a replay, we will see. Watch the exquisite block by James, but then I think it hits Stevenson on its way out of bounds, but that's a tough call, and they're going to decide that a held ball situation is the way to go, and possession arrow favors Sierra Canyon.
And with just 12 seconds left in the quarter, up by 2, the Blazers will have the final shot.
Don't get disconnected from number 3.
Randy's got 25 points. Bailey with 3, with 2. It's up. Not going to get there, and the quarter's over. So we're through 3. Sierra Canyon up by 2. This is going to be a fun ride. The last 8 minutes will be enjoyable. Stevenson shooting it well for Etiwanda. They're down by 2 on KDOC.
It took over 100 years to perfect this masterpiece of Italian design and performance. In about 15 minutes, for us to paint one neon green and do this.
Blends right into the Italian architecture.
See everything you should never do with an Alfa Romeo. No. Then experience everything you should on the road now.
Well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Giulia for $299 a month. Visit your local Alfa Romeo dealer.
From the Golden Coast and rolling hills to iconic cityscapes, this is a getaway that begins the moment you step on board. Cruise along tracks that connect you to Southern California's top destinations and experience an unforgettable ride. When was the last time you were moved by a train? Embrace the journey with us and plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com.
Create new holiday traditions at Universal Studios Hollywood. For your chance to win tickets this holiday season, go to our website, KDOC.tv.
The Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Amtrak Pacific Surfliner. Visit PacificSurfliner.com and hug the coast.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are 8 minutes away, a spot in the finals of the 2019
Well, who's going to go to the finals?
Classic at Damien on the line.
The Classic at Damien, that's on the line a little bit later tonight, and we'll have that second semifinal for you with St. John Bosco with a real heavyweight battle on their hands against Rancho Christian.
Well, when you looked at the 16 teams in the Platinum Division, you had to realize that whoever survives to get to the semis, you're going to have some beautiful matchups. And we certainly have had a classic here at the Classic at Damien. These two teams really getting after each other. It's been fun to watch.
Green for 3. It's out of bounds to Sierra Canyon. So you're going to rename this the Classic at the Classic at Damien.
I like it. Interesting play out of the first possession of the fourth quarter for Coach Kleckner to run a play for a guy who hasn't been in the game much, but Green came up empty on the shot.
Oh, Boston does a great job of getting Campbell off his feet and drawing contact.
Yeah, he's next level good at that, and obviously he knows that Etiwanda's defense is really active and they kind of fly around, and that time he used that to his advantage by stepping right into the falling Campbell to get himself another opportunity at the line where he's awfully good.
He's awfully good at everything. He has 26 points, eyeing number 27. We still have nearly the entire fourth quarter to play. Very deliberate at the line and very smooth.
Oh, I mean, Kentucky won the battle for him, and I don't know how long he'll be at Kentucky, but he'll be fun to watch for at least a year.
Yeah, could be a lottery pick down the road. Meshack to Stevenson. And again, they look for the good shot. Meshack tipped up by Pearson. Yu has the rebound.
It's been a tough night for Meshack.
James with a nice feed inside to Odom, and the shot is rejected by Meshack. Jemai the last to touch it, so the Trailblazers will have the basketball.
Don't hang your head if your shot isn't going, and you can't do that at Etiwanda and stay on the court anyway. But Meshack with a superb defensive play. He hung as long as Odom did, and then the long arm of the law was able to swat it away.
The extended post is you, and his pass just got to Boston. James out of the corner. Etiwanda coming back the other way, down by 4. Meshack around you, reverse layup. Didn't quite fall for him.
Oh, he just can't buy one, but that was a really acrobatic attempt.
Pierce with a spectacular takeaway from Bailey. Stevenson on the baseline is hand checked and fouled by Bronny James.
I was just thinking, as Pierce was bringing up the ball, I thought the guy that I would look for who seems to be having the most success would be number 4, Stevenson. And Pierce, of course, an incredibly smart IQ at a school that's produced great point guards. He knew where to go.
Jackson is fouled as he was going up. That looked to be a 3-point shot.
It is.
Bailey's the foul.
Yeah, it is going to be a 3-4-3.
Earl Jackson, 6'2", 175-pound senior, towing the stripe. And as a shooter, this is target practice for him. And if it comes down to a big shot, here's a guy, number 3, fully capable of hitting the deep jumper.
Yeah, I think that's what makes Etiwanda really dangerous come tournament time, is that instead of some years, for example, when they had the Jordan McLaughlin years, the wonderful point guard who went to USC, they only had 1 or 2 guys that you would really count on in late game situations. As we look at Coach Dave Kleckner, as intense a guy as I've ever had the pleasure to watch.
But he's got that big smile,
he
very
does.
jovial when you talk to him prior to the game.
Yes, exactly. Just don't get in his way during the 32 minutes. But I love the way he coaches. He gets the most out of his kids. But they've got 5 guys this year they can go to in late game situations, and that's got to make him happy, because you know you're going to have some nail biters in the open division down the stretch.
Stevenson picking up his first foul. That's 18 fouls. That could be a factor if the Blazers can hit their fouls down the stretch. They're going to get to the line 1-1 for Terran Frank on his way to TCU.
And what a great get for Jamie Dixon there. But they got to make their free throws. It should be interesting tonight. I'm not sure how many times Sierra Canyon's been in these situations this year where free throws down the stretch really matter.
Chance for Etiwanda to reclaim the lead.
See if you can find 4.
Campbell. And you at 7-3 again, ascending above everyone. Bailey will fire away. Stopped and popped it. It's out of bounds. It's off of Etiwanda, off of Meshack. Good hustle by those Blazers.
Yeah, Odom chased it down. It looked certainly like it was headed out of bounds, but Odom never quit on the play. He's that glue kind of guy that does all those little things, and that time chased the ball down and knocked it off of Meshack to keep the possession alive for Sierra Canyon.
And Sierra Canyon's been in some battles against some of the top teams in the country. They play it on the road, and they've been in games like this. Here they turn it over, and Pierce misses, but Jackson follows it up, and Etiwanda forges in front, 49-48.
Nice try by Boston, though. He sized up Pierce and made the shot really difficult, but good hustle by Etiwanda to stay with it. They didn't get caught watching.
Sierra Canyon's undefeated season on the line. 5 minutes to play. Boston raising up. Rebound Campbell of Etiwanda.
That's the same kind of play I would have run. Get the ball to Boston in a position where he can just elevate and score. He just, he's human. He misses every once in a while.
Are you sure he's human, Professor?
Well, no.
Campbell inside. Missed an easy one.
Oh, and Coach Kleckner slaps his hands in disgust. They ran a perfect play, the perfect entry pass. The ball, the rim just spit it out.
Andre Chevalier off the bench directing traffic. Third-year head coach. He's won 2 state titles in 2 tries. Done a fabulous job with the program. You got inside, missed a layup, got it back, and missed again.
Foul him. See if he can make free throws.
Still going. Now they do get the foul. Sierra Canyon gets the call. Again, there's that height advantage. Tough for Etiwanda to get the ball off the glass.
Coach Kleckner saying he's using his off arm to ward off the defender. Let's see if we can see that sort of thing. I'm not sure I saw that on that play. But now Frank, who just missed one earlier, at some point Sierra Canyon's going to have to step up and make some foul shots.
Drills the first one. Of course, Frank, the son of former NBA player Tellis Frank.
First one was clean. If you're Etiwanda, got a guard against the miss. Nicely done by Frank to knock them both down, reestablish Sierra Canyon in front.
Seesaw, fourth quarter with 4 minutes to play. Midway stage of the final stanza. In regulation, maybe some overtime perhaps. Stevenson on the drive, and before the shot, a whistle and a foul called by official Jeff Logan. We're going to a break. Sierra Canyon up by 1. What a battle. It's the classic at Damien. Semifinal action on KDOC.
Well, if it isn't Big Carl, you fixin' to sauce me up? Sick those beefy twins on this cheese hound. Scram, Big Mac. Go play with your extra toy bun. The adults are getting meaty. Carl's Jr., you know what you want.
You gotta be proud of what you do. You gotta be detailed, element by element.
I've been trained to notice things that most human eyes don't see.
I feel like I put my soul into the cars.
Your work ethic, the product you provide, reflects on your name.
We sign off.
We sign off.
So you can sign on.
The Sign Then Drive event is on. Lease a new 2019 Jetta. 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month, and 0 due at signing.
Carl's Jr. They call you really Big Carl? Must be those triple-sauced meat heaps. How about you cloak me in cheese? Drape me in a 3-piece patty suit like a beef tycoon. Carl's Jr., you know what you want.
Of course, at the end of the game, we'll have our Wingstop player of the game. Right now, a number of different candidates. And as you can see, final 3 minutes and 52 seconds will determine who our MVP is.
I mean, both teams have played valiantly. This has been as good as advertised, and if I was sitting here and you told me it was the Open Division final, I'd be, okay, yeah, I got my money's worth tonight. Magnificent efforts from both teams, particularly on the defensive end. Hasn't been a lot of pretty basketball, but sometimes games aren't pretty, and both teams really getting after each other. No space for the dribblers, deflections on entry passes. I mean, this is textbook defense from both squads.
And you may not be too far offline with these teams meeting in the CIF Southern Section Open Division Final. And the other two we have tonight, St. John Bosco and Rancho Christian, they certainly are capable. These might be the top 4 teams. Who knows?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, the 8 that get selected, there will be no easy ones.
Pierce gives Etiwanda the lead. Cameron Pierce always under control.
Yes, and sometimes I'm sure Coach Kleckner said, you know, Cameron, we're going to draw up a play for you, and it's because I want you to shoot.
Inside, near tie-up.
He traveled.
Odom went up, and there's a walk. The professor, you're a coach, and now you're an official. I love it.
Well, a blind squirrel finds an acorn every once in a while.
Etiwanda with the ball in the precarious 1-point lead. This would be an upset. It's a mild upset if they'd win it. Stevenson off balance.
Yeah, tough
Not
shot.
enough strength on that one. It's deflected, but it comes to Boston, who gets it inside. It was deflected away. Stevenson blocking Frank. It's not easy to get shots up even.
No, and Stevenson knew he took a ill-advised shot to be kind, but he didn't. Once again didn't hang his head. He raced down to the other end and got the block on what would have been an easy one for Frank.
Ooh! A late call. Jackson committed the foul, reaching in, a near theft. The Etiwanda fans don't like that foul. It's Jackson's 4th, 10 on the team, so it's 2 shots.
Oh,
and Boston is at the line again.
I don't like that one either. I mean, they've allowed a lot of contact involving the basketball tonight. That looked like pretty clean steal to me.
Tied at 51, Boston in search of the lead. Looking for his 29th point tonight, and he has it.
That stroke is so pretty. He is such a pure shooter.
I like the ball in this guy's hands. Cameron Pierce.
And they have their best defender, Boston, on him as well.
Stevenson on the wing, inside of 3 minutes to play. Pierce finds Stevenson, 3-ball. They get it back. Campbell goes up and he's fouled. Odom tried to keep his arms backward, tried to raise up without getting the foul, but Shai did contact him. His second.
The play was made by Meshack, though. After the miss by Stevenson, Meshack challenged the defensive rebounder, was able to get a tip, which made Campbell accessible to the basketball, and then Tyree, watch as Tyree goes in strong. Yeah, I'm not so sure that's a foul either. Odom did everything he could to avoid contact. That's a tough one for Sierra Canyon.
Campbell missed them both, and that stings.
Well, and somewhere many people in this arena are saying ball don't lie.
Well, the timeout with 2:38 left will allow Etiwanda to bring back Darvell Wyatt with the 4 fouls. He's been sitting for a while. Got our top 10 rankings in the CIF Southern section. Obviously, these two clubs are right amongst the elite.
I mean, who in the world is going to be eliminated from? There's only going to take 8 for the open division. How do you tell 2 of these teams? And there are more teams that are 11 and 12 and 13, et cetera. The CIF's got their work cut out for them this year to find 8 open teams. But after all of these tournaments and classics that are going on over the holidays, you might see a little shuffling of that top 10. But all of those 10 teams are worthy of recognition. Man, I mean, if this is 1 against 4, yeah, I'm good with that. These 2 teams deserving of those high rankings, to be sure.
Yeah, Sierra Canyon, Mater Dei, Harvard, Westlake, all terrific clubs. Etiwanda, to me tonight, is showing everyone that they're a major factor. They play so hard. Their defense is good. And with the capability offensively, they're just going to be a very tough out.
And they, like so many teams, will get an impact player coming up on Monday. For Etiwanda, they're going to get Jalen Clark, the 6'5" senior that played at Corona Centennial. And, of course, Sierra Canyon's going to get maybe the best player in California in Zaire Williams. Like they need any more help. But he'll be playing on Monday.
They'd like to have him tonight against Etiwanda. Lob inside, deflected away. Meshack tapped it away, and it's controlled by Wyatt.
Outstanding defensive effort by Meshack, whose offensive game has not been up to his usual standards, but defensively he has not relaxed at all.
Approaching 2 minutes to play, and the Eagles looking for the lead. 52-51 for Sierra Canyon.
Oh, Bailey with a near steal, and you know how that would have ended.
Pierce driving it and scoring the ball.
Oh, against a big one. He took him off the bounce and finished with a subtle layup inside.
Deflected, it's on the ground. Odom got it back, and it was blocked beautifully by Wyatt. And control for Etiwanda. A 1-point lead. Final minute and a half at Damien. Who will go to the final championship game? Right now, Sierra Canyon's undefeated season on the line. Jackson out on top. He's playing with 4 fouls, and he has the ball to Stevenson.
Etiwanda milking the clock. I expect they'll start something now, though, under 10. Stevenson just took a look at the clock.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Step back 3. That's not going to get there. It's controlled by Odom of Sierra Canyon with a minute to play at the Classic. 53-52 for Etiwanda. They're on their feet. Boston kicks it back out. Odom drives and scores. Beautiful recognition. Shai Odom, the Trailblazers, the lead.
Boston with the great vision. I thought he had dribbled himself into major trouble, but he was able to somehow find Odom through the clutter, and Odom with a strong play going to the front of the rim. We're going to get a timeout?
Yeah, the score was incorrect in-house. It's 54-53 is what they put on the board, and they have corrected. They originally had 55-53, so they had to take a point away from Sierra Canyon. But this is the basket by Odom, the beautiful finger roll to give them the advantage.
Such a nice player and goes almost unrecognized with all of the star talent, but he's a top 50 kind of guy. Odom, just a sophomore, gonna be really good by the time he gets done. As they sort all this out at the scorers table, it gives both teams a chance to kind of collect their thoughts, collect themselves. On that last Etiwanda possession, I don't think Coach Kleckner, I don't think that's what he wanted, was Stevenson to sort of dribble out the rest of the shot clock and then launch a 25-footer. But we'll see if they run something a little bit more efficient this time.
They're going to put another second up. There's going to be 40 seconds left. That's why they went to the scorers table. So there's officially 40 seconds left in the game. And we're going to have a timeout taken by Etiwanda. It's a full timeout.
40.4 seconds left in the game. Sierra Canyon.
So it's a 54-53 lead for Sierra Canyon. And the game hanging in the balance. Of course, next week we have another glorious matchup. Bishop Montgomery and Heritage Christian. Another two squads that really are playing well.
Exactly. Two teams that believe they are open division caliber. Heritage Christian has administered the only loss that Etiwanda has, and Bishop Montgomery is 13-2 or 12-3, I believe, and they haven't had all their guys yet. So that should be a tremendous matchup next week at a really tough gym for the opponents to play. Bishop Montgomery under Doug Mitchell doesn't lose very often in their own building.
And everybody will like Isaiah Johnson, the forward who plays for Bishop Montgomery. Really good player on his way to Oregon State.
Yep, exactly right. 6'6" and comfortable anywhere on the court. That should be a terrific matchup. Sky Clark, Isaiah Johnson, Max Allen. I mean, college-level players. We'll have college-level players for you every week on the Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week here on KDOC, because there's so much talent this year in Southern California. Glad we can bring many of these stars of tomorrow to you.
54-53, 40 seconds left.
We have an 8-second differential between shot and game clock, so Etiwanda can't hold for the last one. But I would think they will run a little bit of clock before they'll attempt to try to go to the basket, unless something easy presents itself, which I don't anticipate happening the way that Sierra Canyon defends.
I want the ball in number one's hands.
Oh, and
Cameron Pierce,
yeah.
He just creates so well.
I think that is the design for certain. And, of course, Boston, the best on-ball defender with the long arms, has Pierce.
Down to the final half minute. Trailblazers on defense protecting the 1-point lead.
15 on the shot clock.
This is Pierce operating. On the iron, they battle for it. Odom comes down with it and he's fouled. Well, they got it to Cameron Pierce.
Yep.
He explored, he had a great look.
Yep. Sometimes the ball just doesn't go in. Excellent defense, though, forced him maybe to arc it a little bit higher than he wanted to. But this is a very strong, a man's rebound again by Shai Odom. And a good foul by Etiwanda, although that is going to be, I think, the 5th foul on Meshack. That'll force Wyatt back into the game. But they had to foul, had to make sure no time ran off the clock as best you could. And now even if he makes 2, it is still just a one-possession game, and Etiwanda's still very much alive here. But what you have to guard against is if he misses, you have to make sure you secure the rebound if you're Etiwanda.
He missed the first one, and the Etiwanda fans are happy about that.
Once again now, you've got to box out. Taryn Frank, a very good offensive rebounder.
Just 17 seconds left. 2-point game. 55-53, and here comes Pierce. Across the timeline. Cameron Pierce wanted to go to Stevenson, and it was intercepted beautifully by Boston, and they foul him.
Oh, such a smart player is B.J. Boston. He saw what was coming, a step ahead of everybody else. He knew what Pierce wanted to do. Anticipation, like a good defensive back. He jumped the route.
B.J. Boston at the line for the Trailblazers, shooting 2.
It's the double bonus. Boston has 2. If he knocks them both down, Trailblazers would be in great shape. What a game for Boston. He has 30 points tonight.
on a night when Sierra Canyon's not going to get to 60.
This one could virtually ice the game, barring some strange occurrences. And the Trailblazers and Boston are up by 4. Jackson, the 3-ball. Not going to get there. And Sierra Canyon eliminates Etiwanda at the classic at Damien. And Sierra Canyon survives. And that meant B.J. Boston, our Wingstop player of the game, well-deserved with 31 points and making great big-time plays down the stretch.
Well, and the 30 points jumps out at everyone, but I thought his play defensively was superb. He deflected so many passes, made the big steal at the end of the game, but he was magnificent on both ends of the court, certainly worthy of all the hype. This is one of the best players in America, folks, and B.J. Boston came to the forefront when they needed him the most, and Sierra Canyon able to hang on and get a really hard-fought victory.
We'll talk to a dancing B.J. Boston when we come back after this. B.J. Boston, the star of the game.
The Shakey's PCM Combo, starting at $9.99.
From the Golden Coast and rolling hills to iconic cityscapes, this is a getaway that begins the moment you step on board. Experience an unforgettable train ride. Learn more at PacificSurfliner.com.
This holiday, Kathy bought her husband a brand new Hyundai. But don't be jealous. Get your own. During the final days of Hyundai holidays, save big on a new Hyundai. And be the envy of your neighborhood.
Michelle, you're setting the bar too high, Kathy.
There's still time to save during the final days of Hyundai holidays.
Lease an Elantra for just $129 a month, or get 0% APR for 72 months, plus $500 event cash. Only at your SoCal Hyundai dealer.
Hey, Southern California, we know that every dollar counts. That's why at Jerome's, we give you the most value for your money. Our Monterey sofa is a great example. It has premium fabric and 4 stylish accent pillows. And at Jerome's, it's only $445 every day. Compared to this sofa from a national chain, ours is over $100 less. So why pay more when you don't have to? And at Jerome's, there's no waiting. Our furniture's in stock and ready to deliver today at any Jerome's or online at jeromes.com.
Meet the first ever Mazda CX-30. Feel alive.
Bring your family and friends and start a new tradition during the holidays at Universal Studios Hollywood with Christmas in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Grinchmas, now through December 29th. For a chance to win tickets, log on to KDOC.tv.
The Shakey's PCM Combo, starting at $9.99.
Enough of you, baby.
Sierra Canyon is still undefeated, but barely a hard-fought victory over Etiwanda in the semifinals here at the Classic at Damien, 57-53. Our Wingstop player of the game is with us now. That's B.J. Boston, 31 points. B.J., marvelous performance.
Thank you, thank you.
Tough game. These are the kind of games you like, don't you?
Yeah, I like this type of environment, this type of games, you know, a lot of physical play, aggressive games.
You're an emotional guy. Have you always been this emotional on the floor?
I always try to show my emotions, you know, in a good way.
What about this team? I mean, you transferred in, you're learning the system as we take a look at some of your wonderful plays tonight. the chemistry. How do you feel? Do you feel connected to the Trailblazers?
Yeah, I feel like since we took a trip to China before the school season started, and I feel like that brought us together and made us like a better team, and the chemistry got better since then.
You're on your way to the University of Kentucky. And in a sense, it's way down the road because you want to win a state title. You want to do some great things for Sierra Canyon.
Yes,
your thoughts about why you're going to end up in Lexington and play for the Wildcats?
I feel like Coach Cal, I trust him and he trusts me. So I feel like him recruiting my family was a big thing. He kept it real throughout the whole process. And I feel like going there, I could get better in the amount of time I need to.
We're looking at a nice package here of some of your offensive plays, and there were great deliveries around the basket. But that defensive play late in the game, Etiwanda had a shot really to take the lead, and you stole the ball and then got fouled. Tell us about that last sequence and what you wanted to do.
The last sequence, the fourth quarter, I just told my team we got 8 minutes to play defense. Just go out there and leave it all on the floor.
Where can you get better? As a player, you're already very good. How can you improve?
I feel like I can improve it everywhere. Get stronger, take better shots, finish around the rim, get more athletic, all of it.
Keep smiling.
I got you.
Brandon or BJ, what do you prefer?
Brandon Boston.
Here it is. Brandon Boston. Sometimes we'll still call him BJ. Congratulations. He's got a wonderful smile, and Sierra Canyon's got a wonderful win. When we come back, we'll set up the second semifinal for you at the Classic at Damien. Stay with us on KDOC.
You've been craving Wingstop's flavor for way too long now. It's so good to be back. Back where lemon and pepper get a buttery bath and never felt zustier. Where freshly made just for you chicken learns to fly. Where 11 flavors each go to 11. It's like the first time, every time. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now get your flavor delivered to your door at wingstop.com.
At the Ram Big Finish event, we're giving the ultimate gift. Employee pricing for all. So you can drive the only pickups that make the season shine brighter, carry more gifts, and bring the magic of the holidays to everyone in the back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Get the gifts that have it all with employee pricing for all.
With employee pricing for all, purchase and get $10,146 in total values for 21% below MSRP on the 2019 Ram 1500.
Can my side be firm?
Mine's super soft? Yes, with the Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed. On sale now. You can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
But can it help keep me asleep?
Absolutely. It intelligently senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you both comfortable.
And snoring?
No problem. And done.
So you can really promise better sleep.
Not promise, prove. And now, during our New Year's special, the Queen Sleep Number 360 C4 Smart Bed is only $12.99. Save $400, plus 0% interest for 24 months on all beds. Ends New Year's Day.
Season's greetings from the helpful Honda guys. We pampered a puffin with puffy eyes. Helped the elves throw their first rodeo. Made a protein shake for a snowman bro.
Tomorrow, leg day.
And during Happy Honda Days, we can help you too. Right now, you can lease a 2019 Accord LX for just $249 a month plus tax. And the Accord has been named a Car and Driver 10 Best Winner a record 33 times.
Happy Honda Days.
From the Golden Coast and rolling hills to iconic cityscapes, this is a getaway that begins the moment you step on board. Cruise along tracks that connect you to Southern California's top destinations and experience an unforgettable ride. When was the last time you were moved by a train? Embrace the journey with us and plan your next trip at PacificSurfliner.com.
Another big matchup in the semifinals of the Classic at Damien. A couple heavyweights, St. John Bosco against a very powerful Rancho Christian team. Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Roseblum, set to call the play-by-play. This is the Professor, Paul Westfall. These are two outstanding teams two physically dominating squads.
Yeah, no question about that, Randy. I think we have two teams that are strong contenders for the Open Division, and they match up really well. For St. John Bosco, this is the team with a lot of new players this year that just seems to be getting better every time I see them. They're really long on the baseline. They've got veteran guards, and this is the team that's going to give Rancho Christian, I think, maybe their toughest battle on the baseline. And for Rancho Christian, obviously a highly skilled team that continues to improve after a couple of early season losses that maybe shook the foundation of Rancho Christian a little bit. But if the object is to be playing your best basketball in February, both these teams are on the road to that.
In the quarterfinals, we saw Dominic Harris really light it up against Damien.
Well, he's a dynamic scorer, capable of some big nights. He's a devastating catch-and-shoot three-point shooter, but I think his best skill is off the bounce. Late in the shot clock, he can create his own shot. So if the opposing team is concentrating on Evan Mobley, which most teams do, Harris is a terrific second option.
Talk about a big fella. Isaiah Holm is getting it done right now for St. John Bosco. He's hit some big shots in this tournament.
And I think he'll be huge tonight. The matchup against Mobley will be very important because Holm can take Mobley out of the lane and hit some shots from behind the arc. If he does that and Mobley has to come out and guard him, then he's an exquisite passer who should be able to hit the cutting Braves for some easy ones inside. The Holmes-Mobley matchup should be fun to watch.
It's Rancho Christian and St. John Bosco. The starting lineups and the tip-off is next on KDOC.